This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
And welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Nathan Ollie, Manager of Government Affairs at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. When it comes to branding your business, most employers believe a logo will set the right tone for their company. But Jenny Maddern, founder and personal branding expert with Snappy Casual Consulting, will explain why employers need to invest more in their company's brand, the importance, and what that entails. Thanks for joining us today,
Absolutely.
Jenny.
Thanks for being
here.
Me.
Yeah. So first off, what is branding? It's not just a logo.
It's not just a logo. No, I tell my clients and potential clients that you are what you wear, print, and air. It's all three things. So branding is your recognition. It's how people know who you are. So a lot of people think that branding is just my logo. Oh, look, I have a logo and now I'm done. It's a lot more than that.
Okay.
It's a lot more than that.
So why is that not enough?
Why is it not enough? Well, people come to me and say, oh, well, I already have a logo. I mean, what else do I need, right? And I say, well, how do your employees answer the phone? What did you wear to the mixer last night? And it makes them start thinking. So an example I show them is I have 3 name tags.
Okay.
I have a Mrs. Bakersfield name tag. I have a director of the Women's Speaker Association name tag. And I have the Three-Way Chevrolet name tag. All 3 name tags give me very different responses when people see me wearing those.
Sure.
Right? So that little thing, it's a little thing. It's one different word on my name tag changes.
The name is the same.
The name is the same, but how it's presented. And people adjust how they speak to me based on which name tag I'm wearing. I do a little market research with it sometimes. And it's a pretty amazing how fast people's perception of you changes. And that's just such a small thing.
And I would imagine that would be some interesting market research.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to see how it goes.
So we've talked about the logo, but what are some of the other common misconceptions about branding that you run into?
Some of the common misconceptions, people say, oh, I already have a website, I'm done. Okay, that's great. What does your website look like? One client in particular had some trouble because in the title, and I won't give them away. I never give my clients away unless I give them permission because they want them to get the credit for it. But one of my clients in the title was a high-tech type word in front of their business, and their website was nothing high-tech about it. And that alone, that incongruency when it comes to your brand and what's really out there can do some serious damage. So I tell people, start from the beginning, make sure that everything goes together, and it evolves. My business has evolved, and your business can evolve, and you have to evolve with it. You can't just say, oh, well, I've already done it, and that's it.
Right.
Or you are left in the dust.
Okay, well, what kind of investments should a company be making in their brand? Obviously, a website that
would be good.
A high-tech web company with a low-tech website
would be a bad thing.
It's time to make the investment.
So I tell people that you can't afford not to invest. It's one of those times you can't afford not to invest. It doesn't have to be with me. There's plenty of people out there to help you. But at the very basic, if you can't afford a website, a full-blown website, at least get a business Facebook page. I mean, it's the equivalent. It's not as high tech, but it's the equivalent.
And it has to be a business Facebook page because there's
page
differences
between your personal and your.
If you have the personal for a business, you're technically violating the terms of service, right?
A lot of times there's, and people cross over because I am my business. Sometimes my things cross over, but you have to be really careful, and especially different industries. We've had a lot of issues with industries not being able to post the things that they want to post, and so you have to be careful to know your own. But it's a great way to start. A business card is just right at the top of things you have to have. I cringe now when I hear someone say, oh, nice to meet you. And I said, let's follow up. And they go, oh, I don't have a business card.
And even those, they have to be, there's a
Gone are the days of the tear apart at Office Max, business cards.
Right.
And we even encourage students and people and interns to at least say, future engineer on their business cards.
Okay.
So that way they have a serious contact and a way to get a hold of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked a little about how a negative image can hurt a brand. How can the right brand help?
Recognition.
Okay.
It all comes down to recognition. A friend of mine, Kat Klaus, she's an educational consultant. She has branded herself so clearly that when people think of education, they start to think of her, and that's what you want. You need to stand out from your competitors, and you need to go for your ideal audience. So for me, my ideal audience knows that it's important to have a 401k and how to wear high heels.
Okay.
I think it's okay to be both, and my clients know that it's okay to care about how you look and about your business. So I don't necessarily send away people who don't believe that, but we have to match. We have to be a good fit.
Right.
So I tell people with that right recognition, and that's my recognition. That's how people know me. So I attract that type of person.
Okay.
But you don't want to be lost in the crowd. You don't want to be part of the white noise.
Right.
So find something, find your niche, and stick to it.
Okay. Any other positive examples of branding? We've talked about some of the negatives.
Here's one funny negative. I'll give you one funny negative and how it could be turned around. A long time ago, Colgate. What is Colgate?
Right. The
Toothpaste, right? Toothcare, right. So Colgate came out with these kitchen creations, and they were like meals. Right? Exactly.
See your face.
Yeah. So don't stretch. Don't stretch too far. Okay? So businesses have to evolve. I started with individuals and moved on to small businesses and then on to large businesses. But it's all still the same vein. It's making sure that your image is intentional. So if you go too far out of bounds, people aren't going to get it, and you'll lose your credibility.
Yeah.
Stick with what you're good at.
Find a niche and
Right.
stick to it.
Stick to it.
If you make toothpaste, don't make meals.
Yep, I think it's simple.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's good.
So some businesses, the first argument against branding is, it's too expensive. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So what's the actual cost to put something like this together? Or more importantly, what's the cost of not doing it?
The cost of not doing it is just insurmountable.
Right.
Yeah, the cost of not doing it means the only business you're getting is by chance and not by intention. The actual cost of doing it really isn't insane. It isn't insane. There are lots of businesses in town that do charge lots of big numbers to get things done. But there's a lot of things that you can do yourself. And that's what I try to help my clients do, is empower them to take on those things.
Okay.
So when I work with clients, I have like 3 ways of doing it. I say, I'll get you on your feet. That's one package. Get you on your feet, then you can do it on your own. They'll walk with you a while so that I can get you on your feet, and then let's get going for a little bit, and then they'll run for you. So businesses who just want to get started, we've got very small packages that can come help you just get the groundwork laid and then send you on your way. So it's something I'd like to do. I also have a better price for female businesses than I do for male businesses because I want to help them get on their feet a little faster.
I'm going to try not to take that personally.
You can take it personally. That's okay. That's okay. That's my niche. Other than Three-Way Chevrolet is my only male-dominated business. Everything else I do is female-dominated.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to bring a little female to the Three-Way Chevrolet.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
So
right.
I'm a small business,
Yeah.
1 or 2 employees.
Yep.
Where do I start? What do I do? I mean,
First, call me.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's not that. On my website, snappycasualconsulting.com, I have a Let's Connect. Just send me your info. Tell me what's going on with you. I never just have a blanketed response for people. If all you really need is help deciding between 2 things, I'll help you decide. If all you really need is me to come into your closet and say, stop wearing these 5 things, I can do that too. So it's the ground is knowing who your ideal client is and getting your messaging down. And once your message is intentional and your image can fall in suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, any other tips that they should keep in mind? Some advice on getting started?
Get a headshot.
Okay.
Get a professional headshot. It doesn't have to be through me either. There's plenty of photographers in town. But when someone logs on to your LinkedIn or checks you out, they're going to Google you. They're going to Google you.
Right.
And if the picture that shows up is a 1990 big hair picture and that's not who you are now, or it's a crop from a selfie at a party, it's just not okay.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It's not okay. Yeah. And I think people can do more damage with not having a good picture than almost anything else.
Because you're building the relationship and you're selling yourself
Yeah.
in addition to your product.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I encourage people to get a positioning video on their website, introduce themselves. My new one actually will be coming up pretty soon.
Oh.
It's in editing right now. It's very exciting.
Okay.
But I encourage people to introduce themselves before. Clients' brain span and time spent watching is getting shorter and shorter. Used to be you had 30 seconds to get someone's attention. Now it's closer to 3.
Wow.
So
Vines, 8 seconds
hey,
on
that's
Twitter.
it. Like and you see how much play those get because
Right.
that's how much time I'm willing to give you to decide if I'm going to invest in you or not.
So
it's a little scary.
So last question. What
Yeah.
about rebranding? You've been involved in the community for a long time. You have sort of a niche.
Yeah.
But you're looking to make a change. What advice
With
would you give there?
rebranding, I say don't piecemeal it.
Okay.
If you're going to do it big. Do it all at once. gather all of the power that you're going to do and rebrand as hard as you can. Make sure that everybody knows that it's clear. And even write something, on your LinkedIn page or your website. Write a blog post about why you're rebranding. Make sure everybody's very clear that it's not because, a business is failing or because people will jump to conclusions on why you're rebranding.
Sure. And if you don't tell your story, they'll write one for you.
They'll write one for you. Absolutely. So make sure it's very clear why you're doing it. And it gives you a whole new chance just to get those clients that you're really looking for. And I always tell my clients that when you start getting rid of the clients and the noise around who it is you're really looking for, the ideal client will come to you. It's absolutely true. The ideal client will come to you if you are messaging straight for them intentionally.
Great. Yeah. And what was that website one more time?
It's snappycasualconsulting.com. Keep it simple, make it special. That's what Snappy Casual means.
And guys can go check out the website too.
Guys can go too, absolutely. Okay. You might get charged just a smidgen more, but absolutely. A lot of my male clients come in under the radar, and I go in and help them get their new headshots done or get their website revamped or just the copy on their blog posts. And then I send them on their way, and they feel in control. And that's what I like to give my businesses and my clients, just the control to be intentional about their image.
Terrific. Yeah. Jenny Maddern, thanks so much. Thanks for coming in and talking a little bit about branding with us. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this with more Strictly Business. Stick around.